Interesting TCM and Acupuncture. Part 16. The 12 meridians and 8 extraordinary meridians and their medical treatment. The Greater Yin Lung Meridian, Hand Yang Ming Large Intestine Meridian, and Stomach Foot Yang Ming Meridian. Contents. Greater Yin Lung Meridian, Hand Yang Ming Large Intestine Meridian, Stomach Foot Yang Ming Meridian. Summary. 1. Greater Yin Lung Meridian of the hand. Greater Yin Lung Meridian of the hand. Name. The hands and feet, yin and yang, and organs and viscera are the 3 parts that go into the naming process of the Greater Yin Lung Meridian, which travels in one line along the interior arm. It's called Greater Yin and belongs to the lung. Its specialization is that it has scant blood and much qi. Do you know how much qi and blood there is in the 12 meridians? In the foot and hand Yang Ming meridian of large intestine and stomach, there is much qi and much blood. In the foot and hand lesser yang meridians of the triple burner and gallbladder, there is much qi and less blood. In the foot and hand greater yang meridians of the small intestine and bladder, there is less qi and more blood. In the foot and hand terminal yin meridians of the pericardium and the liver, there is much blood and less qi. In the foot and hand lesser yin meridians of the heart and kidney, there is much blood and much qi. In the foot and hand greater yin meridians of the spleen and lung, there is much blood, less blood, and much qi. 2. Greater yin lung meridian of the hand. Circulation. The Spiritual Pivot Meridian Paths chapter discusses the circulation of the meridians. The vessel of the Tai Yin lung meridian of the hand rises from the middle burner. Its collateral connects to the large intestine and it passes the stomach. The area above the diaphragm belongs to the lung. It follows the path of the lung horizontally and passes under the armpit, then circulates under the biceps and moves inside of lesser yin, in front of what the heart controls, under the elbow center. It passes the inner forearm bone, entering the cunkou, passes the thenar eminence, following the fish border, leaving to arrive at the end of the thumb. It has a branch which goes from the wrist directly to the next fingers at its tip. Explanation of the above quote. The greater yin lung meridian of the hand rises from the middle burner. It passes along its collateral to the large intestine. It returns, then passes the stomach, opening and penetrates the muscle of the diaphragm, meaning it belongs to the lung. It passes the trachea and the throat, going horizontally to the axius to the axilla from the points of Zhongfu and Yunmen. Then it circulates down to the inner arm, moving in front of the Han Shao Yin and Han Zhui Yin meridians, along the Tianfu and Jiabai points, going to the elbow at the Chizhe point, and then passing along the inner forearm at the Kongzui point, entering the cunkou and passing the artery at the Jingqu and Taiyuan points, then passing the Great Yuji point, and then Yuji, ending at the tip of the thumb at the Shaoshang point. It also has a branch which stops before the wrist and passes to the index finger, ending at the tip of the Yangming large intestine meridian. 3. Greater yin lung meridian of the hand illnesses. The Spiritual Pivot chapter on the meridians says, if there is movement, there will be illness. The lung will become full and distended, and there will be a cough. The center of the chui pen will become sore. The hands will be clasped, and there will be a lack of clarity. This causes shoulder flaccidity. These are the illnesses of the lung which may be treated. Cough, rising qi, gasping thirst, vexation of the chest, fullness or pain of the inner arm, palm center heat. If qi flourishes, the shoulder and back may become sore. Wind cold with sweating, wind stroke, frequent urination with sighing, vacuous qi making the shoulder and back sore, cold, not enough qi to breathe, change in color of urine. Explanation of the above entry. Movement causing illness was explained by Zhang Jingyue in the Classic of Categories as movement refers to change. Change refers to a change from what is normal to a pathological condition. 2. The chui pen refers to the area above the clavicle, including the larynx. 3. Lack of clarity here is pronounced Mao. The character Mao refers to internal fullness of the chest and a sense of constrainment and chaos, when it's also not possible to see clearly. 4. Shoulder flaccidity. This refers to when the channel in the shoulders experiences a rebellion of qi. 5. These are the illnesses of the lungs which may be treated. This quote refers to the meridian and its point, which may be used to treat the various illnesses of the lung. 6. Gasping thirst. Gasping refers to heavy breathing, while thirst, which was accidentally written using the character chang, meaning to sing, is actually correctly interpreted by a similar-looking character, which means to be thirsty. 7. Qi flourishing. This refers to excess patterns, yang patterns, and is the opposite of vacuity. 8. Sighing. Sighing refers to a long and audible exhalation. The Great Simplicity, written by Yang Shangshan, said, when the qi of yin and yang, upper and lower, pull on one another, consider how there is frequent sighing. When people urinate but the quantity is insufficient, this is evidence of an excess syndrome, and typically they will open their mouth and expel breath. 9. Vacuity. This refers to vacuous conditions such as yin vacuity and stands opposite of qi excess. 10. Urine changes color, when urine changes from its normal color. Spiritual Pivot Meridian Vessels Chapter explanation. It's possible for the meridian to change from its regular nature and enter into a pathological condition, which can cause the following illnesses. The lung area can become full and distended. There's swelling with gasping breath, cough. The chui pen area above the clavicle can become sore. If it's serious, the hands will be clasped. There will be a feeling of vexation and fullness of the chest. The vision will become unclear. It's also possible for the arm to become flaccid and numb, and for various types of pain to occur. The acupoints which may be treated on this channel can treat illnesses of the lung, including cough, qi rebellion, gasping with heavy breathing, heart vexation and inability to calm down, chest fullness, upper arm and front and inner arm pain, and flaccidity, as well as palm heat. The meridian can experience excess and vacuous conditions, and it's common to see these manifest as shoulder and back pain, common cold and with wind cold, and spontaneous sweating, injury by wind and scant frequent urination, opening the mouth to sigh. The meridian, when experiencing lack of qi, is in a vacuous state, usually manifests as back pain or dislike of cold. 4. The points of the meridian. The lung meridian has a total of 11 points, 9 of which are on the arm and 2 of which are on the upper chest. The points of the channel are Zhongfu, Yunmen, Tianfu, Xiabai, Chizhe, Kongzui, Liechui, Jingchu, Taiyuan, Yuji, and Shaoshang at the end of the meridian. Special points. The 5 transport points of the lung meridian are Shaoshang, which is the Jingwell and Wood point, Yuji, Taiyuan, Jingchu, Chizhe. The yuan source point is Taiyuan, which is also the shoestring point since it belongs to a yin channel. Liechui is the hui meeting point of the vessels and collateral point. The shi cleft point is Kongzui. 5. Treatment of the meridian. The lung meridian may treat the following organs and viscera illnesses: cough, rising qi, heart vexation, lung distension and fullness, frequent and scant urination. The lung meridian may treat the following channel illnesses: chest fullness, pain in the chui pen area, inner arm flaccidity and pain, palm center heat. The points of the meridian can treat cough, gasping for breath, coughing blood, illnesses of the larynx and throat, circulating qi in the meridian to touch the illness. 2. Hand Yang Ming large intestine meridian. The Yang Ming has hand and foot, and both have yin and yang organ and viscera, and these are the 3 sections of the meridian. The hand greater yang large intestine meridian runs along the exterior arm and belongs to the bright yang and the large intestine. It has much qi and much blood and is a meridian flourishing with yang qi. Large intestine Yang Ming meridian of the hand. The Spiritual Pivot Meridians and Vessels chapter says, The large intestine Yangming meridian rises from the index finger tip and passes along the Shangyang, leaving Hegu between the two bones. Above it enters the two sinews, circulates up the arms and enters the outer elbow, passing along the upper arm to the shoulder. It leaves the Jianyu point, passes the Zhui bone, enters Cui pen, connects to the lung, down to the diaphragm, into the large intestine. It has a branch which leaves Cui pen, goes back to the cheek, enters the teeth, enters the septum at Renzhong, and then ends up on the left and right side of the nose. Explanation of the above text. The meridian starts from the index finger at the Shangyang point. Then it runs upward and passes the two joints of the forefinger. It enters the two tendons between the thumb and index finger. It passes up the front of the forearm. It enters the outer elbow at the Chuchu point. Then it follows up the upper arm on the outer side, passing the shoulder at the Jianyu point. It passes the Du meridian at the Dazhui point on the spine. Then it enters the clavicle and goes to the organs and viscera, passes down to the diaphragm and enters the large intestine. It has a branch which passes the clavicle and enters the neck. It passes the face and cheeks, it enters the teeth, and passes the two outer sides of the lips. Then it enters the septum at the Renzhong point and passes to the right and left side above the nostrils at the Yingxiang point. The vessel qi connects to the foot Yangming stomach meridian. Hand Yangming large intestine meridian illnesses. 1. The spiritual pivot meridian and vessel chapter says, if it moves, it will become ill. The teeth will ache, the neck will become swollen. It controls illness of the jin fluids, such as yellow eyes, dry mouth, bloody nose, blocked throat, shoulder and upper arm sore, index finger unable to be used. Excess qi causing heat and swelling in the vessels. Vacuity can cause cold trembling that does not improve. 2. The spiritual pivot meridian vessels chapter explanation. The meridian frequently exhibits the following illnesses: tooth pain, cheek swelling. The points of the meridian typically have illnesses that relate to jing fluid, such as yellowing eyes, dry mouth, clear fluid running from the nose with blood, sore throat, elbows slumped forward, upper arm sore, index finger pain, poor movement. When there's an excess of qi in the meridians, it will become hot and swollen. When there's qi vacuity, there will be cold and trembling, and it's hard to return back to normal. 4. Points of the meridian. The meridian has 20 points, with 14 on the arms and 6 on the shoulder, neck, and face. The points are Shangyang, Erjian, Sanjian, Hegu, Yangxi, Pianli, Wenliu, Xialian, Shanglian, Shousanli, Chuchi, Zhouliao, Shouwuli, Binao, Jianyu, Zhugu, Tianding, Futu, Kouheliao, and the final point, Yingxiang. Special points. 5 transfer points starting at the Shangyang, which is the Jingwell, with the Erjian, Sanjian, Yangxi, and Chuchi following. The yuan source point is Hegu. The collateral point is Pianli. The Shi cleft point is Wenliu. The lower He point is Shangzhushu. What the channel treats. The meridian has large amounts of yang qi and can treat yang excess syndromes as well as febrile diseases. It accesses the exterior to the lung meridian. Its points can treat the head and face, 5 offices, throat, mental illnesses, febrile illness, and illnesses of the channel. Treating febrile illnesses can be performed with Shangyang, Hegu, and Chuchi. Treating head illnesses of the 5 organs can use Hegu. Treating stomach and intestine illnesses can use Hegu and Chuchi. Treating throat illnesses can use Xiangyang and Hegu. Treating shoulder pain can use Hegu, Chuchi, Shousanli, and Binao, as well as Jianyu. Treating nose illnesses uses Hegu and Yingxiang. Pay attention to the angle and depth of acupuncture at Tianding and Futu. Stomach, foot, Yangming meridian. Stomach, foot, Yangming meridian name. The hands and feet have 3 sections, which are separated into yin and yang, organ, and viscera. This is how the meridian name is constructed. The foot Yangming stomach meridian travels from the face to the head to the chest and abdomen, down the outer leg. It's called the Yangming and is associated with the stomach. Its specialization is that it has much qi and much blood flourishing, so there's plenty of yang qi. 2. Foot Yangming stomach meridian. The spiritual pivot meridian vessel chapter, original text. The stomach Yangming meridian rises outside the nose at the junction of the nose and forehead. The Taiyang meridian moves down the outside of the nose, enters the teeth, passes the mouth, surrounds the lips, goes to the Chengjiang point, moves down the cheek at the Da Ying point and Jiache, passes in front of the ear, past the hairline, arriving at the forehead. It has a branch which passes the Da Ying and goes down to the Ren Ying, following the throat, enters the Chui Pen, passes near the umbilicus, and enters the Qi thoroughfare. It has a branch which goes to the stomach, passing down the belly, entering the inner aspect of the middle toe. Another branch passes down the knee, 3 Cuan, and enters the external aspect of the middle toe. Another branch ends at the big toe. Spiritual pivot explanation. Circulating from the yin-xiang point at the side of the nose, it passes along the nose, ending at its root, passing along the inner eyes, meeting with the foot greater yang, going along the outer nose edge, entering the teeth, and then going to the side of the mouth, encasing the lips, passing to the chengjiang point on the left and right, entering the qin and da ying point, then passes to the front of the ear, passing the xiaguan point to the hairline and forehead. The meridian is split from the Da Ying point, which passes down to the Ren Ying point. Then it passes down the throat and ends at Da Zhui, where it breaks off and enters the Chui Pen, moving down to the diaphragm, entering the stomach and connecting to the spleen. It moves directly to one branch, which goes from Chui Pen to the body's surface, passing the breast and moving downward to the sides of the abdomen, passing down the abdomen to the Qijie point. The meridian has one branch, which goes from the stomach to the Youmen area, passing the inner belly to the Qijie point. It directly passes the thigh and knee, then passes down the lower leg to the back of the foot, entering the second toe at the Li Dui point. The meridian has a branch which runs 3 Cun down the knee, then it goes to the middle toe outer edge. Then there is one branch which goes from the back of the foot to the Chongyang point. Then it enters the end of the big toe at the in bai point. 3. Stomach, foot, Yangming meridian illnesses. The original text from the Spiritual Pivot Meridian Vessels chapter says, movement causes illness, trembling and cold, groaning, frequent urination, darkened face. The illnesses result in people being reviled by heat, hearing wood creak and being shocked. The heart wishes to move, alone, locked in a room and not leaving. They wish to go to high places and sings. They wish to strip off their clothes and walk. Their stomach bloats and makes a sound. The shin becomes flaccid. Treatment of this channel is focused on blood. It treats malaria with sweating, nosebleed, mouth which is disjointed. The neck is swollen and the throat is obstructed. The upper belly is bloated, swollen knee with pain. The chest and breast, Qi thoroughfare, skin, shin, ankle, and middle toe can't be used. If it is in excess, the whole body will be hot. When there's a lack in the stomach, one will feel thirsty. The urine is yellow. There's not enough qi leading to trembling cold. The stomach will be distended. The spiritual pivot pathogenic qi hidden in the viscera chapter says, stomach illnesses cause abdominal distension, upper abdomen and heart pain, and the upper arm and midsection are not connected. Food and drink cannot be kept down. For this, you can use San Li. 2. Explanation of the above text. The meridian has illnesses of heat, malaria, insanity, cold nose, bleeding nose, crooked mouth, neck, swelling, throat pain, abdomen swelling, upper abdomen pain, vomiting and nausea, food and drink not being transformed, leading to thirst, and knee pain and meridian pain. Points of the meridian. The meridian has 45 points. They're spread on the face, near the eyes, starting with Chengqi, and moving down, ending in the foot with Li Dui. It covers the entire body length. There are 30 points on the abdomen, chest, and face, and 15 on the legs and feet. The points are Chengqi, Sibai, Zhuliao, Dicang, Da Ying, Jiachuo, Xiguan, Towei, Ren Ying, Shui Tu, Qi She, Chui Pen, Qi Hu, Ku Fang, Wu Yi, Ying Chuang, Fu Zhong, Fu Gan, Bu Rong, Cheng Man, Liang Man, Guan Men, Tai Yi, Hua Rou Men, Tian Shu, Wai Ling, Da Zhu, Shui Dao, Gui Lai, Qi Chong, Bi Guan, Fu Tu, Yin Shi, Liang Xiu, Du Bi, Zu San Li, Shang Zhu Shu, Tiao Kuo, Xia Zhu Shu, Feng Long, Jie Xi, Chongyang, Xian Gu, Nei Ting, and the final point of Li Dui. Special points. 5 transfer points start with Li Dui, which is the metal Jing point, followed by Nei Ting, Xian Gu, Jie Xi, and Zu San Li. The yuan source point is Chongyang. The collateral point is Feng Long. The Xi cleft point is Liang Qiu. The lower host C point is Zu San Li. 5. The channel treats both sides of the body and can treat the most collaterals out of any part of the body. The intestine and stomach are treated by this channel. The nervous system, breathing mechanism, and all illnesses of the throat, head, and face, mouth, teeth, and nose, etc. It can also treat febrile diseases and insanity. 4. Summary. Greater yin lung meridian. Circulation. The greater yin lung meridian moves down the arm, belongs to greater yin and the lung, and has much qi and less blood. Points. There are 11 points in total, which start at the Zhongfu and end at Shaoshang. Special points. The 5 transit points start with Shaoshang, which is the Jingwood point, Yuji Taiyuan, Jingchu Chizhuo, and its Yuan source point is Taiyuan. The 8 vessel meeting point and collateral point is Liechui. Its Shi cleft point is Kongzui. It treats cough, gasping, coughing blood, throat pain, and illness of the lungs, shoulder pain, and flaccidity, palm heat, and so on. 2. The Han-Yang-Ming large intestine meridian. Circulation. The Yang-Ming large intestine meridian travels up the arm. It belongs to the Yang-Ming and the intestine. It has much qi and much blood with flourishing yang. Acupoint. There are a total of 20 points starting with Xiangyang and ending at Yingxiang. Special points. The 5 transfer points start with Xiangyang, which is the Jing metal point, passing to Arjian, Sanjian, Yangxi, Chuchu, and its Yuan source point of Hogu. Its collateral point is Liechui. Its Shi cleft point is Wendiu. Its lower Husi point is Shangchu Shu. It treats head and face, 5 offices, throat, mental illness, febrile illnesses, and illnesses belonging to the meridian. 3. Stomach Yang-Ming meridian of the foot. Circulation. The stomach Yang-Ming meridian of the foot passes the face and head, chest and abdomen, outer legs, and it is the Yang-Ming channel and belongs to the stomach. It has much qi and much blood and flourishing yang. There are 45 points. It passes down to the front of the body from the Chengqi point under the eyes and ends at the Li Dui point of the big toe, passing the entire body surface. Special points. It has 5 transfer points starting with Li Dui, which is the Jing metal point, passing to Neiting, Xianggu, Jieshi, Zusan Li. Its Yuan source point is Chongyang. Its collateral is Fenglong. Its Shi cleft point is Liangqiu. Its lower He point is Susan Li. It treats large intestine, digestion system, nerves, breathing system, circulatory system, throat, face and head, mouth, teeth and nose, etc. It can also treat febrile diseases and insanity. Thanks for watching.